Well, hello. So, today we're going to be having Neil do a little bit of tuning on one of my cars. So, here we have my 98 Subaru Legacy Wagon that, I don't know if you can tell, right now it's strapped up to the dyno. It has been rear-wheel drive converted. This is a drift wagon. I use it as a drift car. I bought it off Jesse a few years ago. It's been sitting for a while, so it's all still pretty filthy. Gets filthy sitting outside the shop. But it didn't have a motor in for a long time, and past couple weeks, got a motor put back into it. Did a bunch of little things to get it going. I'll go over those in a little bit. Today is gonna have Neil try to tune it, and hopefully, fingers crossed, it doesn't blow up, because I have no faith in this motor. This motor here I got from, it was like an '05 WRX that was potentially seized. The guy thought it was. I thought it was too, because I tried to turn the crank pulley and it didn't fucking move. The turns out it was the starter that was broken on it. The snout fell off, lodged in between the flywheel and the bell housing, and wouldn't allow the crank to turn. So after finding that out, and I already had another motor for that car, so I put that other motor into it and pulled this one out because it had a bunch of bolt-on goodies. It had like fuel rails, bigger turbo, massive intercooler in there. It had inlet, a header, downpipe, bunch of stuff done to it, right? A bunch of bolt-ons. So I was like, oh, it's probably worth keeping. And then I just had that on its engine stand for like 5 years, and it sat for about 2, maybe 3 before that. So it wasn't that great of a unit, but hopefully it'll work. Got like an APS 3 turbo on it. I don't really know what it does. Looks like it's got a really tiny exhaust manifold on it. Might be able to see it from under here. Really tiny runner, so I don't know, lots of velocity, maybe, who knows. We'll see how it goes. I made this little intake for it. We got, you can't really see them on this side. Go around to the other side again. Put on some radium fuel rails. I've got some ID 1050 injectors in it. Big intercooler, turbo, 3-inch inlet, like full exhaust. It's been rear-wheel drive converted, so this thing's used as a drift car. It's been down in like North Dakota and a bunch of different places. He drifted around for a year, banged it up a bit, got a little bored of the chassis, and decided to build one of his other cars again. So you can see it's all a little banged up in the backside here, but it's a neat little wagon. Yeah. Drift Force 2018, so that'll tell you the last time it was really kind of out doing anything. It's got a different seat for it. That's what the other Spark was for. It's for this car. Yeah, steering wheel. We got a hydro mounted in kind of like an OEM spot. Shifter, all the fun stuff. Still like full interior and everything like that. But it's been sitting for a while, so it was dirty. Like the dash is all just sun fucked, eh? Just real wrecked. But it's the way she goes. It wasn't meant to be the prettiest car in the world, but yeah, it's old burgundy wagon. What else can I talk about this thing? So yeah, today is tuning day to see if it does any good, because the motor that was previously in here had what was it? Yeah, 2.5 bottom end, 2-liter head, so it was a hybrid build. Had like hybrid pistons with higher compression, different cams, and he had like some bigger BC cams in it. Had different, larger turbo, had different diameter MAF housing, had a different size intercooler, a different manifold on it. So a lot of the same, but a lot different. So we'll see what happens here. Fingers crossed. Again, fingers crossed it doesn't blow up, but if it does, yeah, that's the way it goes. I don't really have much invested in this car anyways, but back probably, I don't know, back in the beginning of 2018, I did a wire harness merge on this. So this was all torn apart because this came with like a 2.2, I think, or it might have been a 2.5. We'll see what the little plate says here. What did this normally come with? An engine. Oh no, it had 2.5 in it, so that's not so bad. You might be able to kind of see. You can go right there, EJ 2.5, blah 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 blah. So it was a 2.5, but now it's got a 2 liter in it. So I did the wire harness merge between an 02 WRX and the Legacy, so everything would still kind of work and function normally, and then basically you almost seamless, like you can't really tell that it's not supposed to be in here, other than it's pretty big. Things don't quite fit the same way. Like I had to, this is part of an upper rad hose, this is part of a lower rad hose, that's a normal lower rad hose, this is hitting the timing cover. So like right now I don't even have upper rad mounts, but it doesn't move. Good, it doesn't hit anywhere else that's important, so yeah, I think it should be okay. I'm just waiting on Neil to show up, because we've got our little dyno going on here. We'll get it all set up. Can you hear that? Holy, that thing was loud. Some big ass bird just outside, that goddamn. But yeah, so we're gonna get spin it up on the dyno and see what happens, and let Neil work his magic. Well, some video of it doing some pulls and stuff like that, and you know, hey, if it blows up, we'll have some video of that too, maybe. We'll see what happens. But we'll get to that when we get to there, and we'll see what happens. We'll have a little finish at the end. In the meantime, I'm going to do some organizing. I bought these new Stanley organizer containers. I already started doing my electrical stuff for all my electrical bits and stuff like that, you know, dual and all my crimps and things like that I need. A couple more slots I want to try to fill, but I need to refill on these guys so that they get different size eyelets. Now, just locally, I can't find them without the little bits on them, so I usually cut these off and I'll like seal them up with something like that, make them a little nicer, because I don't like these plastic things. But yeah, try it out. So while I wait for Neil, get these all slotted in here, a bunch of new riv certs and stuff like that, and see what else I can do. I like trying to be as organized as I can be with all my bolts and hardware and stuff like that, but you know, not too much else going on. This is my little spot. There's a vehicle Jesse picked up. Just put a motor into it. The one before it spun a bearing, so a cross track with like a lift on it and shit like that. Too bad. We got this Mustang here that our apprentice is working on right now, getting back together. It had a blown up motor. It like ate a piston, I think. Big turbo goes sitting down there, so we'll see what that thing makes. And then our apprentice has his Forester he just put a motor into as well. He wanted to rebuild his own. He bought this a little while ago off Matt. It was burning a bunch of oil and shit like that, so he wanted to take it apart and refresh it. So he did new bearings, new pistons, hone the block. I think he did some exhaust valves, because they were all chewed, you know, they're all pitted up and stuff like that. So he's got it all back together. We'll see if it runs when he shows up today. I think this wasn't in here yesterday when I left, so he's making some progress on it. But yeah, so I'm gonna do some organizing, get some of these things all sorted out, and we'll wait for that. Get some coffee in me. It's nice and early on a Sunday morning. Delicious. And here we are, all sorted out. Our bigs, all the metric ones. I guess there's some standard ones, a drill bit, and the installer tools. So, put that back down in there. So, still waiting on Neil to show up. He should be here any time. It's 10:30 now. He said it's about when he was going to be showing up. So, take these, put that down into here. you. And do that. Nice. Well, a few more stacked up in there. Got some bigger ones to go there soon. For some of the other things we gotta sort out. But hopefully we'll be getting to tuning that thing here right away. So far, it's staying alive. We've gotten through about, I think it was like 3 or 4 pulls now. Starting to bring in the boost of it now. We got decent torque curve, decent power. We're making about 217 as of, and like 220 foot-pounds of torque. We've only just started adding boost. Got the fueling a little bit down in. We're sitting at, where are we? 17, 18 pounds of boost. Not bad. Out of it.
There we go.
Nice. 285 torque, 245 horse. Nice and smooth. Holding a lot of power, range low. I'm happy with that. And it's still running, so that's a real good bonus. There are all the things. Times like these where you wish you would have had the camera rolling. I broke the transmission, so I'm getting a tow back right now, back to the shop. I'm pretty sure I Pretty sure this transfer gear is just sheared off. It makes an awful fucking racket when you try to put it in gear and go. But at least the engine's still okay. Well, that's the way she goes. I'm sure I got some parts to fix that. Won't be too bad to do. Just gotta do some transmission work maybe. Hoping it's a transmission and not the differential. It sounds like it's a transmission. Right now we are rolling and it's still going good. So well, I'll have some more updates on that, I guess, in the next little while, probably the next couple days. Pull the back of the tranny apart and see what I broke. So here's the sound that the transmission makes. Ooh. Like this. Chunk. Let out the clutch. So I think it might be broken. Just maybe. Yeah, we'll fix that later. We'll deal with that later. It'll be alright.